Welcome all earthlings and other beings. My name is Lara, and this is Aller Tarot and Art. And today I'm going to be reading your cards, and I'm also going to be drawing an image that I received in meditation for this particular reading. I'm going to go ahead and start the sketch and talk about what I was seeing. And then what I'm going to do is the initial spread with clarifiers. And on the other side of that, there will be another video overlaid where you can watch me mostly complete the drawing. And then at the very end of the video, you can see the colorized and finished piece. So I hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing great. It's a Happy New Year to you in 2024. All that this reading is timeless for whenever you do come across it. What I was seeing was kind of an unusual image. It almost reminded me like of Japanese anime. And there was a song associated with this reading as well. So what I was seeing was almost like a young girl. Let's see, get these. This is what I was seeing. And she had like, almost like a bobbed like hair, and her little tiny face in here was round. And you didn't see her eyes. There was just like a little nose. But what was unusual was, let's do her body. What was sitting on top of her head. So it was almost like there was this these piles and piles of what I interpreted to be like yellow stickies. You know how you put notes on this little square yellow stickies and that you stick up on somewhere so that you remember something. It was almost like she had a bunch of these piled on her head. Let's see. I'm just going to do a little bit of an initial drawing on this, and then you can watch me complete it over a time. But at the very top of all of these like sort of curled sticky notes was this candle. It was a candle. And to me, this reminded me of like having bright ideas. So it might be that you're coming into a time when this is going to be a year of bright ideas, or you came up with a bright idea, or you're trying to. You might be a creative, actually. So yeah. So this is going to look pretty cool once it's finished and colorized. And you can kind of get the idea. And it seriously looked like Japanese anime. All right, so I'm going to put this aside, and I'm going to go ahead and start with the initial spread. And just so we don't waste any time, I'm going to speed this up, and I'll see you on the other side. Here we go. Okay, I have laid out your cards with clarifiers. The drawing should be popping up now, so you can watch me mostly complete it over there. Also, just keep in mind that this is not a personal reading. I'm reading for a collective watching. It's a general reading. So if you're here, there's probably something for you. But if something doesn't fit, doesn't sound right to you, don't try to force it, okay? All the pronouns he, she, they, that's all interchangeable. You just plug in the gender that works for you. And then also I'm going to list all of the beautiful decks that I'm using today down below in the description box so that we can appreciate the wonderful creators of this work. So, all right, so it looks like you're coming to the end of a cycle. Something happened. I feel like something either ended abruptly, because you've got this tower here and you got two death cards. So it might be that someone died that you loved or that was close to you. It doesn't necessarily mean that they died just recently. It could be someone who died many years ago, but it took you a while to process that. Sometimes we have to, process things for years. Sometimes that happens. And I'm sorry if you did lose somebody dear to you. Yeah. So anyway, but what I see is you're trying to now end this cycle, because the song that was coming through was by Smash Mouth, and it was called Then the Morning Comes. And it's a song about this person who just parties. And they're realizing it's just like a pattern. They just keep going, and it's wearing on them, right? They're like, I don't know how long I can do this, but it says, then the morning comes. So, and it says, okay, so it's like the words are saying, and the world's a stage, and the world's a phase, and the end is near. So push rewind just in time, thank anybody. It's just the way that you walk. It's just the way that you talk, like it ain't no thing. And every single day is just a fling. then the morning comes. So yeah, it's like this repeated cycle that goes over and over again, and it's worked in the past, but it's not working anymore. Something's ended. And it might be because you lost somebody, that's why the process ended, but you have the world here, so this is definitely the completion of a cycle. But I can see you're kind of stressed about it, and you've barely been thrown into, you've got intuitive cards everywhere, so you've been thrown into needing to use your intuition, and also to heal, because this is clarifying the Tower. So whatever this big change was, that where you had to like abruptly let go of something, something abruptly changed, you're healing from it, and you're trying to rebuild your, you know, your legacy, your life, and you know, get re-inspired. So you're really wanting to, and maybe you are bossing up, but I see there's a struggle here. Look, so you've got the Two of Pentacles clarified by the Five of Swords and the Ace of Wands. So that's telling me that you've been going back in your head about, like, it's maybe almost like negative self-talk, or maybe you're around people who are encouraging the old way of doing things, maybe the people who partied with you or something like that. But you want to move into this Ace of Wands, which is feeling inspired, which ties right back into the drawing that I received in meditation, which is the bright idea, right? The flame on top of her head. So you might be a really creative person, or you're wanting to be a creative person. You're wanting to enhance that part of yourself. Now that these changes have happened in particular, you're feeling like this is time to express this inner, you know, there's two Ace of Wands here, as a matter of fact. So this is like a reigniting of passions. And wanting to boss up in that. So you see Page of Pentacles to the Queen of Pentacles, it's like a bossing up as well. I'm going to pull some oracle cards to see if we can get some more clarification on this. Yeah. So, all right, any more information, please, for this collective watching on this? I'm not sure why the picture looks like Japanese anime to me, but or why the drawing's coming out that way. But what I'm kind of getting is either like maybe you like Japanese anime, or maybe you're a creative who works with Japanese anime. That might be it. But you have a lot of ideas, or you're coming into a lot of ideas, really bright ideas. Okay. We need to know for this collective, please. Yep, that makes sense. Okay, another one, please. Look at that. So we have Earth Spirit, Maple Spirit, and Bee Spirit. So this is talking about stability. I feel like this is also kind of enhancing that, because, you know, the tree is very stable with the roots into the ground. So you want to boss up as a Page of Pentacles to the Queen of Pentacles, for these new beginnings to come in, and recreating your stability after your stability was rocked. It was really rocked by this ending, or the death of this person or people. Yeah, but the universe is a generous place, and perhaps you're seeing the universe as a generous place despite all of the stuff that's been going on, or you're trying to see it that way so you can pull your abundance in, because this is the prosperity card right here, the Bee Spirit. I feel like you're coming into a better time. This might be a better year for you, actually. This is what I'm seeing here. So whatever you've been working on, you see you've got the Seven of Pentacles over here. This is the planting of seeds, being patient, watching things grow. It's creating stability for you. So this little tiny tree here can grow into this, you know, large tree. And the thing is when you fill up your own cup, when you've filled up your own life and created what you want, you know, when you've nurtured yourself and you've gotten over this negative talking and really embraced your passions and bossed up, you know, then you have an overflow of energy and abundance to give to others. So when you move towards your own personal prosperity and stability, which includes healing, then you have plenty of overflow for other people. And that's really what you want. You want to have plenty to not only for yourself, but for others as well. You might be very philanthropic, or that's what you want to be, maybe, is some sort of philanthropist, someone who gives. I want to see what your obstacles are, though. Okay. Yeah. All right. What are the obstacles for this collective watching, please? For the obstacles. Shout out to my son for this new deck. I love this deck. This is the Halloween, Nightmare Before Christmas. That's it. Nightmare Before Christmas deck. All right. Another one, please. You know, and that's the thing about this, you know, if you think about the story of The Nightmare Before Christmas, Jack, who's the main character, he's in charge of Halloween, but he finds like this grove of trees, see the trees, and he finds Christmas and he wants to know what Christmas is all about. And then he invades the Christmas realm and he messes everything up. But he gets re-inspired. So when he comes back to his own realm of Halloween, all of a sudden he has these fresh ideas, right? And you have these two Ace of Wands. These are fresh ideas. So let's see, another one, please. Obstacles, obstacles. Right, you're having a hard time making a decision on something. I can see that. Right? And it might be, too, that you're in between relationships. So who are all the people you were partying with before, or hanging out with before, you know, according to that song. It might be that you're having to move away from them because it might be an abusive situation or that puts you back into a cycle you don't want to be in. So you might be single right now, but there's nothing wrong with being single. That's a good time to heal and rest and rebuild things, and just be patient with yourself and understand that love can come in the future. But right now you need to be taking care of yourself. Yeah, you need to render justice to yourself. You're having a hard time rebalancing things. Like there might be something done to you, like because there's an abuse card here. Or maybe there's something you did that you regret, but there's forgiveness that needs to happen here and it hasn't happened yet. You need to forgive others and forgive yourself so that you can move forward, and you don't do it for them, you do it for yourself, right? You don't want to hold on to any kind of like burdens or anything. It's interesting too, because look at this, like this really weird looking creature thing, but his eyes are kind of stitched closed. And it's almost like you feel like you're working in the dark. And maybe like the people guiding you before were not guiding you in the right direction, but now you just kind of feel blind or something. And see, he's almost reaching over to this bottle of whatever that is. So it might be that you're trying to give up some sort of addiction, maybe drinking or something like that. You know, sometimes we fall into things like that to deal with what's been going on, the sadness maybe of losing someone we love or having to move forward. But try to be careful, not to just go for the easy thing, the easy fix, the addictions, because it might be causing a blockage for you, especially if you're a heavy drinker. That will definitely like invite lower level entities into your system, and that will continue the cycle of abuse, because it will encourage you to feed your addictions, and that is not a cycle you want. You're ending that cycle, right? That's part of that, ending the partying cycle. So, but you're having a hard time just letting go of certain things. I can see that, and you're having to make decisions. So sometimes you have to make hard decisions. And that's just the way it is. Sitting in indecision is also decision, and then you let other people make up your mind for you, and that's no good. So you can make the decision yourself. You're just having a hard time saying, do I do this, do that? But the only way you're going to get your justice is if you render it to yourself first. So be kind to yourself and heal, and that might be it's just a matter of time, right? It might just be a matter of time. You might need more rest. So let's look into what the solutions are, or the best things you can do for the best results. The best things this collective can do for best results, please. You know, and I'm looking back at this too. It's like, look how he's on a pulpit, kind of, Jack is, and he's speaking to all of his little minions and everything, and it's the justice card. So it's almost like you feel like a need to speak out. Like maybe you need to get your own podcast or something like that, or write things down, or you maybe don't even need to show anybody, but there's something that needs to be said. You need to express something and you're having a hard time expressing it. Yeah, yeah. But don't fall back into the habits, the drinking, the addictions, because that's not going to get you anywhere, and you're having a hard time with that. So anyway, these are the solutions. These are the best things you can do, this next layer. Go towards the ideas, you know, like in the drawing with the bright ideas. Go towards what, you know, your passion is, what that calling is inside of your heart. And that'll move you into the correct direction. If you've ever done your astrology chart, that would be called your north node. So whatever your north node is. For example, my north node is to be the psychic artist. That's just my path. And I know when I'm on my path, right? And if I go against my path, go back into my south node, then that's when trouble starts. So, okay. All right, another one, please, for what's most effective, the things I can do to get best results. Okay, we have Kamala, Abanolaka, and Valencia. All right, well, I feel like this is really, they're really basically the same things. This is about rising up. It's she who emerges. Rise up, but be mindful about how you do it. And it might be that you need to tap into your spirituality, right? She's reaching up with this flower. It's like a looking up. You can change your physiology if you're having problems with like depression and stuff. Look up more. If you look up, then your physiology will help shift your mindset. Also, listen to like more high vibing music and sing, dance, move around, do things that are higher vibing, and it'll help, raise your vibration. So keep rising up, finding ways to rise up, right? Okay. And then this is She Who Battles. So this is about getting justice. This is about being fiercely committed to what you're doing. Be fiercely committed to your passions. And then this is She Who Stands. So it's standing resolute and determined. So, and it's right over this abuse card. So, you know, whatever you're still trying to move past all these old habits, like the Page of Potions with the drinking, be resolute, be committed to yourself. You are your own advocate. Be your own advocate. Be your own best buddy. Be your own warrior to defend yourself. And then call in your guides. You can ask them for intervention too. Call in Great Spirit or God, whatever your spiritual structure is. Call them in. And if you don't have that build it. There's a reason why we have imagination, and I can see you have imagination. You build your own construct to be able to reach the divine. So this is a gift from the divine that we are able to do this. So use it. And I can see that you're creative enough to do that. Let's see. Let's pull one more deck, and then I'm going to pull one from the Isis deck. All right, so here we go. Anything else that this collective needs to know that can help them, please? Any advice, anything else, please? Anything else? You know, because we had that Queen of Cups earlier, which is about intuition. I would say you've come into your intuition, or you're coming into it. So, this and this card here, and let's see what the third one is, but it's like, it's encouraging you to use your intuition and to look for the signs, look for synchronicities, serendipity. That's about everything falling into place and coming together in like divine timing. So it works out, it's like it flows, right? So look for things like that to help you on your path. Another one, please. Right, this is co-creation. So it's like just what I was saying, using your imagination. That's co-creating with the divine. This is what we do. We co-create with the divine. And we use our imagination to do that, which helps. And then also our words, our commitment, things like that. But this is going to ask you to go more into your yin energy, or the natural flow, the feminine divine energy, which we all contain. We all have that regardless of our gender. We all have feminine and masculine energy, and it flows in different ways. So this is asking you to go more into your feminine energy to find the solutions and find that serendipitous flow, which is going, in co-creating with the divine, right, to create what you want. That's beautiful. I can attest to this working. This is how I operate most of the time. So, and it really enhances my creativity, and I'm able to come up with some really beautiful imagery, but I stay in the flow as much as possible. Using many different techniques, including the one I said, where it's rising up, looking up, changing your physiology. You might want to look into things like feng shui, which is actually is that Chinese, the Chinese art of placement. And so it's like it addresses the flow of qi or energy. You might want to look in things. And one of the things they teach in feng shui is to put things up higher in your home, or look up a lot, because that actually raises the energy. It creates better qi flow. Okay. All right. What do we need to know, Isis? We're just going to pull one from the Isis deck to see what Isis what advice she has for you before we wrap this up. And then you get to see the final drawing. All right, here we go. You need to know. All right, so that's the image there. Beautiful artwork. Okay, it says, Wings of Isis, you have a special spiritual relationship with the angelic worlds. Oh, nice. Part of your sole purpose is to birth angelic consciousness and values such as fearlessness, compassion, and service into this human culture. this oracle also brings you angelic assistance, intervention, and confirmation too. So maybe what you were asking a question about that or something, maybe you're wondering about what your purpose is. And obviously you're tied into the angelic realm. So that's really beautiful. And the more that you co-create and move towards your passions or your north node, the more you're going to find that you have access to this angelic world. So again, ask for intervention from your angels or your guides, your ancestors, whatever your particular spiritual construct is. And if you don't have one, build one. So that's my recommendation. It's a beautiful, beautiful card. So I hope that this reading was good for you, that you found something useful in here. And if nothing else, you were inspired by at least by the art. And I always encourage everyone to do something creative. This is a good time to do that, especially when you're in your sort of a downtime right now, trying to heal. It's a good time to journal, to draw, to listen to music, to dance, to just kind of try to get into that flow of creativity as much as you possibly can. Yeah. I mean, and the ending too might not be like the death of a person. Say you retired or something, and now you're getting into something that you love that was more creative that you couldn't before. You couldn't put your full attention on it before. So now you've been recreating things, and you're coming into your own. So that's really beautiful. All right. Well, Happy New Year to you. And thank you for being here. I do appreciate all of your likes and subscribes. And if you comment too, I read all your comments. And I wish you well. And thank you for being here. And until I see you in the next episode, bye-bye.